Good evening. My name is Tangia Freeman, and I'm going to be doing an interview with Andre Jackson. He was in the Navy. He was an information system technician, also known as IT. Also, I thought this interview would be interesting because I'm going to be a military chaplain, and I thought it would be interesting to hear about a former sailor and his experience in terms of church and religion. So we're going to start off this interview with the first question, which is, may I ask you about your religious background / church experience?
My religious background, church experience is I was in the foster care system, where I grew up in church. It was basically mandatory that we go to church every day. Sometimes like 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening time, as far as my church experience.
Great, thank you. So what were your religious beliefs? What were the religious beliefs of your parents?
Well, my foster father, he was a minister. Later on, when I became older, he became a pastor of the church we attended growing up. Mm-hmm. And of course, with being a pastor, we all basically had to be on our P's and Q's, and so sometimes we were in church a lot because he presided over like weddings and funerals and of that nature. So we were always constantly in church all the time.
Okay, thank you. So can you tell me about your religious beliefs now?
I mean, yes. Do I believe in God? Yes. But would I say I'm Christian? I would say probably no.
Okay, thank you. And do you believe in well, you kind of answered that question. Do you believe in a creator or a higher power? So you said yes, you believe in God. So that's good to know. So the next question is, do you think that God has revealed himself through any kind of holy book?
I mean, far as through the Bible, I mean, I guess in some ways, I guess in other ways. So, in some ways, I guess.
Okay. So sometimes it's kind of hard to believe in all the things that are written in the Bible.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, mainly because, I guess growing up in the church, it was like, everything was based about, some forms of the Old Testament, and then some forms of the New Testament. So, yeah. How certain things, you kind of see some things kind of as you get older, that the Bible does reveal certain things from what the Bible says, even as growing up as an adult now. So, from what we was taught growing up as the kids. Yeah.
Thank you for that. So, next question is, what do you think of Jesus, and who is he? Who was he? Excuse me.
Well, Jesus was the Son of God. I mean, he died on the cross for us, for our sins, and then growing up, and then going through the whole being crucified, and being raised from the dead, and with the whole Mary Magdalene and his sister and stuff like that. So
okay, so you have a knowledge of Jesus because, like you said, you had to go to church. And would you say that your knowledge about Jesus came from having to go to church constantly?
Yes, having going to church and being like, for instance, Sunday school, of course, then vacation Bible school during the summertime, and about the different how God was coming up as even as a kid growing up, and being from what I was taught, he was the carpenter, and then from there, then God used him in certain areas, and so.
That's good. Thank you. So next question is, how would you define Christianity?
Well, how I would define Christianity would be people who, I guess in my mind, who believe in God and who follow the beliefs of God, as far as, i.e., maybe the Bible, and going to church, and just, I guess, leading by example. Maybe witnessing to people, telling about the works of God, and how God can, if you believe in Him, He can, be this structure for your life going forward.
Okay, that's good. So what do you think of Christians? You can be honest.
I mean, I think some Christians, there are some good Christian people, but I also think there are some Christian people that just say one thing and then they do the opposite of what they do. Saying, or they might think they're on this high pedestal, then thinking that they're better than you, even if you're just a person who just became a new Christian, for instance. There are some people who might think they're better than you because you just a new Christian, a new babe in Christ. So some people, I think some Christians do come off as think they look better, a high and mighty type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that the way Christians are, do you think that kind of affect your faith now and why you consider yourself not really to be saved?
Yeah, I guess you could. Yeah, I guess you would say that. Then too, growing up in the church, we was always had to go to church all the time. Because I always felt like it was kind of like crammed down our throats, so to speak. Yeah, so it was mandatory. Yeah, morning service, going to Sunday school, then even the evening time or afternoon we had to go to youth service, and then had to stay there. Had to go to night service. So it was like kind of like, I guess you say crammed down our throats, so to speak.
It's forced.
Yes, forced. Correct.
Okay. All right. Great. And then so that kind of ties into the next question, which what prevents you from being a Christian or being involved in a local church?
I mean, as far as the local church, I would say just find the right church and being able to, I don't know, get along with people and not people think that, even if you miss a Sunday or even if you don't go to a specific thing like maybe Vacation Bible School, that you're not this Christian, or you're going to hell, that type of thing. So I don't want to be judged because I missed a church service, or if I'm not there every Sunday, or if I'm not every different religious event that come up, that I got to be judged on maybe by another Christian. So.
Okay, good. And then so what are your major struggles with faith? Just
knowing that God's going to answer, those could be there for me, or He's got my back, or if I say so, hey God, I need to, I want this to happen, knowing that God's going to answer my prayer, not thinking that He's going to forget about me, and not think that, okay, that my faith is, I don't feel like I'm lacking, you know what I'm saying? So I know that if I call on God, He's going to be there for me. So, or I don't have to wonder and blunder, or there is a God, So.
Okay, that makes sense. So next question, what drove you into what is the STEM field, which is science, technology, mainly for you it would be technology field, and why did you choose that field to study?
Well, I mean, it kind of started when I was in like high school. I always wanted to know about computers and the ins and outs of it. If something happened with a computer breakdown, knowing how to be able to go, kind of like taking apart, fixing it, maybe taking it from behind, and maybe tinkering with it, taking it apart, and maybe doing what you need to do to fix it, kind of putting it back together again. And then of course when I got into the Navy, I started off in the deck department, and I kind of like, I kind of did this in high school. I should be able to continue while I'm in the Navy, and then just everything it kind of like flowed from there. You know what I'm saying? Am I like the highest high team? No, but it's still a working process. It was a working process. So.
Thank you. Great. And so, does your work in STEM, or like I said, as an IT field, impact your views on religion?
No, I think that's like a whole separate thing. IT work and religion is a whole separate thing. You can't mix that together because it's a whole totally different thing. What you're doing in the Navy and IT work, you got to focus on that because certain things break down. You got to focus on that. Then when you're not doing Navy stuff, you want to focus on religion and God. Yes, you can do that. I mean, yes, when you're doing your IT work, yes, if you want to be able to witness to God or talk to people, God, I get it. That's different in a way. But far as the mechanics of IT and mechanics of God is a different thing. So.
Great. Okay, so I know, so that's pretty much the last of the formal questions, but I guess the only other thing I would ask you is do you feel like if you find a church, and if you felt like God heard your prayers and God was there for you more, do you feel like you would be saved and be more of a Christian?
Yes, I feel that if I found that right church home, and maybe to be able to interact with the people in the church and not everybody looking down on me, like snobby nose, whatever the case may be, and not use their religion to think if I maybe slipped a little bit, they gonna come down on me as if or if they were God. Of course, they're not God, but just be able to feel comfortable and be able to go to God and say, hey God, I know I'm not this, I know I'm not that, I know you do answer prayers, but it might not, might not answer it right then and there. But believe me, I have to have more faith, knowing that you will answer my prayers eventually.
I like it. And another thing I wanted to add, and I know I didn't say it in the beginning, but I actually know Andre because he's a family friend. But we've never had this conversation about faith. So I think it's interesting to kind of hear, even though, we talk about a lot of things,
Right.
we never really talk about your faith and what are the challenges and your struggles. So I think this is great.
Right.
And what I love is it opens up a conversation maybe for later if you're open to
Exactly.
Great.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on our STEM interview.
Thank you for having me.
Great. And I hope everyone has one today.
Thank you.
Thank you.